Okay, does anyone see the problem with this product? Someone really said, wow, Pillow Pets may be one of the biggest successes in children's toy history. You know what we should do? Let's put a giant hunk of plastic in the middle of it that emits an obnoxious amount of light and charge double. Now that's what I call a good night of sleep. Guys, I don't care how happy or amazed this child looks, it doesn't change the fact that this product is purely a gimmick. Admittedly though, I'm a huge sucker for products that I see on TV. In fact, I ordered this bacon cooker thing like 2 months ago and I'm still waiting for it to arrive. It's not gonna show up. It's not gonna show up. All this being said, it's worth noting that even today, we're still surrounded by these sketchy products and services that come in many different shapes and sizes. The only difference is that now we know how to use the internet, so we don't have to call the cops when there's a hot single in our area that wants to talk to us. So today, let's take a trip down memory lane and regret every purchase that we've ever made because spending money is actually terrifying. If you've never seen one of these items before, you're either too young to be watching this video or you're just really stubborn and you haven't been paying attention for most of your life. Not my fault. This is a mood ring, and if you ask me, I'd say these bad boys were the starting point for our now deeply rooted insecurities. But how exactly did these rings work? And why was I trying to figure out if I was horny in 2nd grade? They came in many different shapes and sizes, but at their core, they all kind of work the same way. The stone part of the ring was made up of thermotropic liquid crystals, which move and bend in response to changes in temperature. When these crystals move, the color that they express changes. So yeah, that makes sense, but what does that have to do with my fragile emotions? Couldn't they have just marketed them as color-changing rings? I mean, after all, we were children, right? That shit would have blown our minds regardless. But the problem was exactly that. We were children, we were impressionable, and goddamn, we really wanted magic to be real. Take a look at this list of moods on a typical mood ring. You'll notice that there is a total of 8 moods, and they're all extremely limiting. Look, the top 3 moods are stressed, nervous, and unsettled. Couldn't you have just combined them and there's a motorcycle? Couldn't you just combine them and call it anxiety? And then we get to active, which begs the question, is that even a mood? Because I feel like by the definition of the ring, that would just indicate a dangerously high heart rate. For the opposite of that, we get relaxed. And I think, once again, by the ring standard, that actually makes sense. Finally, we get lovable, romantic, and, oh yeah, happy. No in between. Oops. First of all, the colors for relaxed and lovable are extremely similar, so that could either indicate that you're very sleepy or very horny. Sorry, no in between. Happy, sure. Romantic, you don't know me. So guys, at the end of the day, this is just a more useless and confusing version of a heart monitor. Because I was curious, I looked online to see if anyone actually still makes and sells these, and believe it or not, I found one on that website that runs sweatshops. Look, one of the moods is mixed emotions, which is ironically the way that complacent individuals feel about shopping on this website. So this is some pretty frightening stuff, right? Because is it just me, or were we as a collective society a lot more gullible back then? Well, the answer is yes, because we also fell for this.
Some people say that silly bands are just a fad, like maybe the Beanie Baby or even the Pet Rock. But Robert Croak says these bands are different because they appeal to both girls and boys, and even adults.
Silly bands, who didn't have one of these puppies? Of all the trends that came and passed in my childhood, I would say that this one had the largest chokehold on me and plenty of other kids. And when I say chokehold, I mean that these motherfuckers were literally cutting off our circulation. The first branded Silly Band sets could be found online for the first time in 2008. But what made these such a sham is that they were actually marketed to the masses as a completely different product than originally intended. They were first designed and released in Japan in 2002 as animal rubber bands to encourage sustainability by discouraging people from treating regular rubber bands as disposable. They didn't start to become popular in the US until around 2005 when they were a huge design and fashion hit at the MoMA design store in New York. Cool. So what exactly does this mean? Well, in my mind, it's kind of bullshit. Dude, I mean, we were essentially just buying one of the most basic office supplies at like 3 times the price. The original packages of Silly Bands came in packs of 12 for $2.50 and packs of 24 for $5. $5? Sure. Thank you. Oh, looky here. I just found a half-pound bag of assorted color rubber bands for, oh, look, $5. Look at how many there are. That's so many. But forget about that, because if you didn't show up to school looking like this, Yeah, you're eating lunch alone for the rest of the year, bucko. Speaking of that sleeve thing, this was very much a trend, and it was very dangerous. Sitting in your elementary school classroom while your teacher proceeds to cut an entire collection off of your friend's arm is a life-changing experience. Coincidentally and completely related, that was the same day that I found out that I had a penis. All of this being said, were they really fucking cool? Yes. Did me and two of my friends start an underground silly band market out of our backpacks at school? I don't know. You tell me. But you'd think with all of this rubber band nonsense, people would get a little bit wiser about, you know, their trend subscription, if you will. But, no. People will buy anything. All you have to do is just make it bigger.
Until you tip over. Good. Now what you're going to want to do is perform the same thing, only with the power balance on. Using the same point on the elbow, I'm going to push down again and resist.
For a lot of you, I may have just triggered a deep core memory. I mean, I really feel like everyone had one of these at some point in time. Maybe it was just me. I think in my time, I went through like 3 of these, and to this day, I still don't know what the fuck they were supposed to do. It seemed like everyone who had them swore by them, but it was always a white mom, and the story was always something like, I went on a run this morning with no breakfast and no coffee, and I feel like $1 million because of this thing. Okay, but what did the original manufacturer claim that it actually did? The company claimed the wristbands could provide added power, strength, and balance by harnessing the energy of the wearer's own cells. These claims met a class action lawsuit. Power balance bracelets are still manufactured and sold, although the company has dramatically pulled back on its claims. Yeah, no shit, idiots. Now, for those of us who actually paid attention in science class, the manufacturer was trying to claim that the bracelet speeds up the rate of cellular respiration, which is the process that cells go through to produce energy. Now, you may be asking yourself, what about this design contributes to that microscopic process? Don't worry, I have an answer for you. Plastic. What do you mean that doesn't make sense? You sound crazy right now. The power balance is actually considered to be one of the most successful marketing scams of all time. It's so close to being illegal, like it's almost there. But that does bring me to another major point in this video. In planning this video, I tried to organize everything under the idea of it all being a scam. But technically, this is the only product that qualifies as a scam, being that it is in fact a fraudulent product that does not deliver on its marketed functions. But dude, how can you hate on it when everyone was wearing them? Shaq, the GOAT. Kobe, the GOAT. Bill Clinton. Oh, okay. Yeah, now it makes sense. So now we're gonna transition a little bit because these products are what I would consider to be commonplace. They were so popular that they could be found in just about every store, so there was no need for any mass marketing via TV commercials. But what about the products that did require that format? What about the commercials that we saw every single day without fail?
About to be mesmerized. It's here. It's wild. It's sweeping the nation. It's Fushigi!
What is there to possibly say about Fushigi? I know. Ball. Now, for those who may not be aware, the idea for this product was to create a sphere so round and so shiny that when properly manipulated, it looked like the ball was moving on its own. This was, of course, one of those products that took a lot of time and dedication to master. And by time and dedication, I mean ruthlessly studying the almost 5 hours of tutorial content on the included DVD. Studying this content would help you unlock epic tricks, such as the prayer cross, levitation, and the enigma. Yeah, I don't know. Users were even encouraged to learn how to maneuver multiple Fushigi. Users were even encouraged to learn how to maneuver multiple balls at the same time. And that wording really helps the joke I'm trying to make. I actually remember my favorite part of the commercials being the testimonials at the end. It's just funny because I feel like back in the day, it was super easy to convince people to buy a product with the most brain-dead review of all time.
It's sick. It's so much fun. I love it.
It's amazing!
I love it!
Me too!
My grandson, he's 16, he would love one of those. I want to buy it now.
Fushigi.
But other than it being a massive waste of time, what made this product such a sham? Well, let's refer to logistics for a moment, okay? We're dealing with a completely reflective surface here, right? So what happens when I finish my cheesy stuffed crust pizza and immediately want to start rubbing up on my Fushigi? Or what happens when I finish digging in my butt crack and immediately that thing's gonna get greasy, folks, and when the surface gets greased up, the magic is gone.
Happy birthday, dear Fushigi.
And guys, that is a product demo video that I found for the Fushigi. That wasn't scripted. He did that on his own accord. Oh, wow. The Fushigi is really just a reflective metal sphere surrounded by a thick layer of crystal clear acrylic. When you hold the ball, the acrylic gives the appearance that you are not making contact with the ball. So it's metal covered in acrylic. It is simply a ball of material. Also, this product is made for idiots, and idiots love to drop things. So if it slips out of your hand, well, there goes $19.99 plus $6.99 shipping and handling.
Moon shoes! Kid-powered fun anti-gravity shoes!
Moon shoes, baby. The toy every kid wanted, but seemingly never acquired. Was this because our parents think we didn't need them, or was it because of the obvious fact that these shoes were just glorified death traps? To this day, I have worn a pair of moon shoes a total of 1 time in my life, and I can confidently say that that was the most terrifying 3 minutes of my entire life. Do you see how the children jump and move in the commercial? This is an inhuman amount of nimbleness. However, I want you to take a very close look at this opening shot where the children jump towards the camera. Can we agree that they're not jumping high at all? Because to me, they look like losers. Moon shoes were first launched in 1992 and were marketed as lightweight shoes made of high-density plastic with adjustable Velcro nylon closure straps that gave kids the illusion that they were walking on the moon. Now, what they won't tell you is that these shoes actually required the individual to assemble it themselves, using up to 100 rubber bands, making the build time anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Fuck no. What child is going to be capable and willing to complete that task? That would be like if Pokemon cards required you to soak the cards in water to find out what you got. Actually, that's kind of awesome. However, we need to address the elephant in the room with this product, which is that this product is just a complete hazard. If you tried hitting a nasty jump like this and then accidentally landed on the wrong part of the shoe, your foot and ankle would fracture so badly that it would just become part of the shoe. I found this product demo video of this lady using the shoe, but you'll notice that she never jumps and also grounds herself as much as possible. This is the definition of fear, okay? Although the product was never recalled, there have been multiple accounts of various leg and ankle injuries associated with the shoe. Can you even possibly imagine the embarrassment in the emergency room after that? Yeah, doctor, I spent 30 minutes to an hour building my own personal saw trap, and if I get out of here, I'm gonna do it again. By the way, at the end of the commercial, the lyrics to the song literally say, "Jump to the moon, it's a necessity."
Jump to the moon, it's a necessity.
Moon shoes!
Why is it a necessity? What's waiting for us on the moon that we don't know about? I think it goes without saying that Moon Shoes did not provide the service advertised, or at least not to the fullest extent. The only place I was able to find the most recent model for sale was on Amazon for $36, but don't worry guys, it's 8% off, because someone thought that now was a great time to put Moon Shoes on sale. I think that looking back at products like this is very eye-opening, believe it or not. I mean, when you watch these commercials, it's pretty clear that they tried to employ every single attention-grabbing tactic in the book. But did we really need these things? Were my elementary school peers really gonna euthanize me if I didn't show up to school wearing the, yeah, what are we calling this? But most importantly, guys, and not to sidetrack from my conclusion, but this is a ball of building materials, and I'm not getting over it. This is something you sell in a gift shop, like, oh, this is a fragment of so-and-so's. I don't fucking know, you know what I mean? I guess what I'm trying to say is that we've always been idiotic consumers. And although products and services have drastically changed since the time of these items, I think that advancement in that department just makes us even more susceptible to making the aforementioned idiotic purchases. We spend over $1,000 on cell phones now. Is that not completely sickening to anyone else? Oh yeah, and that bacon maker that I mentioned at the beginning. It took me 3 days to write this script, and I filmed it on day 3. It was supposed to get here on day 1. Meaning I'm literally a part of the point that I'm trying to make here. And that is unhealthy. Look, it's fake. Look at that. There's so much more that I wanted to talk about in this video in terms of like gimmicky concepts and stuff, but I had so many ideas for that I'm just gonna reserve it for another video. Because I like this. I like having this behind me and being able to point at things that don't actually exist yet because I'm the editor. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that if you're a first-time viewer, you'll consider subscribing to this channel. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers, which is, if you agreed with me, leave it in the comments. If you disagreed with me, leave it in the comments. We'll kiss about it. And because I don't have a sponsor today, because I'm cool, that's all I have for you this time. But until next time, I don't really have a back of the room to go to. The most I could do is like, get lost in this.